Hi, this is Scott Brown with another P10 tool review covering the TEXA Axone Nemo PLUS with multi-hub. Now this is video number 2 in this 3-part series. Now in the first video we covered quite a bit of ground, but in this video we're going to cover and highlight a few areas that I find quite unique and valuable. Now, when it comes to streamlining your workflow, your subscription also includes free MOTOR TruSpeed repair and service data access. So what this means is that we can go right from the vehicle within the scan tool over to service information and not miss a beat. So let's take a look at how this works. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. I'm going to go to motor technical data. We'll look to see if we can find something related to So G37 Sport. So just look up power steering. Okay. All right. Get rid of our keyboard. We got a power steering control module. Let's see what this is here. Now, if you haven't watched the first video yet in this series, I encourage you to check it out because we cover a broad range of the great features this beast of a tool provides. So we're going to run a full scan on this vehicle. All right, we've got a few modules that have codes in them, but we're going to select this gauges panel here, which will give us a topology view on the vehicle. So you can see that we've got modules with codes. So the RAD, it's got a bunch of them there. And if we don't know what RAD is, it says radio here, but we do have a legend up here at the top. And this shows you what all the acronyms are for each of the modules. So that's really a nice feature to have. You can highlight each of the systems. So there's your powertrain related modules that are highlighted there. VIN related modules that have the VIN. Body. AC. Infotainment. Electrical system, and driver assistance. Pretty much everything lights up because driver assistance has everything. So in this radio, we can hit diagnosis, and it's going to take us into that module and let us carry on and investigate. And anytime we're running either a full scan or generating any useful data, whether it be screenshots or a full PDF report, we can go ahead and hop right over to a web browser and we'll pull up our shop management system, go right into the customer's ticket, and add those vehicle assets right into the notes area. All right. We'll go to the ticket. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to edit. Let's click attachments to upload. Go up. Honda. I think it's this one right here. There's our APP road test. All right. So we'll go ahead and open. That's going to upload it to the ticket. All right. And I can put my notes in there later here. Publish finding. There's my APP road test right in the ticket there. Cool. Now, one of the other areas that I really found cool and I want to highlight again is the fact that this has this VIN and mileage check function. And what's really valuable here is that you can quickly run this procedure and it will go out and hit all the modules that store VIN and mileage and pull back a report, and so you can see it all on one page. Okay, we're going to perform that VIN and mileage check here. This is passenger car. We're going to use the VIN Scan 2.0. It's going to identify the vehicle, but this routine we're going to run, it's going to go basically and pull all the modules on the vehicle that have the VIN and the mileage stored, and it's going to produce a nice little report for us. And this is a good time to, or it might be wise to do this if for some reason, you're working on a vehicle that has some peculiar problems and you're not sure if maybe others have been working on it, and where there might be a maintenance-induced failure on the vehicle. As a lot of these modules, we need to make sure that they're all at the right software levels, but more importantly, they should have the right mileage and VIN number in them. They should all match. So this tool here will let you do this. And this is what we're doing right now. So we can see we've got VIN numbers stored in all these modules, and I see that the VINs all match. Not all the modules store the odometer, so I see the body controller is storing the odometer, and the serial data gateway module is also storing it's the instrument cluster. Yeah, instrument cluster and the body computer. So we can hit print, and we've got to enter a plate number in here and the odometer. Okay, so it's 31938. So we're going to check that off. Carried out the creation of that PDF. We can now open it up and have a look. And there's our quick report. Pretty cool. Now in the third and final video, we're going to go ahead and perform an OEM J2534 reprogramming operation. And because the tablet here is Windows-based and it's compliant with OEM software, we can go ahead and load that software right into the tool and then use the TEXA TXT multi-hub, which is J2534 compliant, and we'll be able to connect to the vehicle, load up the manufacturer software on the tablet, and carry out those operations. A really unique feature. Other tools that are not Windows-based make this service impossible. Now, the TXT multi-hub VCI is quite versatile, and it allows one to configure it to record certain parameters while on a road test, without the need of the tablet going along for the ride. Now, I've used this several times where I've had an office assistant take the vehicle out for a long road test while the VCI was recording. And this was a really cool feature that I found to be pretty slick in my book. So let's check it out. So one of the cool things you can do with the TEXA here is we're going to go to parameters, and we're going to set up a filter here. And I mainly want to look at RPM. We don't want maximum. We want basically, I would just type in speed, engine speed. Okay, let's clear that out. Let's look at APP, type pedal, accelerator pedal position 1 and 2. Okay, those are the voltages. Okay, and then we can do throttle, and we'll do absolute throttle position. Okay, and we can also do the voltages here too. Okay, so we got calculated load value. Okay, go ahead and select that. Okay, now I'm going to hit the check mark. So here's the other thing that you can do is you can go on, click this road test icon right here, and it says the device, which is our interface, will be configured in the dynamic test mode. Okay, the parameters selected will be in the current group of favorites. Okay, so we're going to click check. It says enter the license plate number so we can associate it afterwards. So I'm going to click in here and we're going to select that. And it says transferring the configuration. Okay. And this screen here says press confirm to close the self-diagnosis automatically, disconnect any USB cables. We're wireless to the interface, so we don't need to worry about that. And it says remember that the device is ready for the dynamic test on the vehicle or boat that has been configured, and it will remain in this state until the following diagnostic session. So the recording will be started each time the following conditions are present simultaneously. The VCI is connected to the diagnostic socket, and the key is in the run position, or the vehicle boat is ready to be started, with or without electronic key. You may recover and save the recordings made by running a new diagnosis on the vehicle, and then you may view the saved recordings through the customer management function. And then for further details regarding the dynamic test function, see the help section. Okay, so I'm going to just click OK here. All right, okay. And then we're going to turn the scan tool off. And it says record on. Okay, so I'm going to turn the key off momentarily. And then I'm going to press on the brake. Start the vehicle up, and now it is recording. Okay, and then what I can do is send an assistant out to road test the vehicle extensively, and then have them bring it back, and then I can pull the data up through the scan tool. Okay, so I just had one of the office assistants drive the vehicle for an extended period of time. Brought the vehicle back, and then I've just now reconnected to the vehicle with the tablet, and you can see that this just popped up. It says a VCI being used. There's a trip recording made to the dynamic test function. Press save to import. All right, so I'm going to hit save, and it's going to bring in that long recording. All right, do you want to view it now? Sure, let's view it. So now we're going to get throttle opening, and she said it ran just fine. So throttle adapted. All right. And there's our recording. Okay.
Now, another cool feature that I really like is their ability to visualize data through their live data dashboard. Now, this is a unique feature to the TEXA IDC5, and I see it being quite useful as it displays the data contextually. Well, take a look at a vehicle I had in recently with an intermittent stalling complaint, and how we use the tool to hone in on the throttle body, carry out a cleaning service, a reset of the adaptives, and a follow-up repair verification. So let's take a look.
All right, one of the cool things about this tool here is that it's got a pretty interesting display panel. You might find it appealing, maybe not, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to go to gasoline injection on this. I'm going to hit start here on the top one. And I'm really interested in looking at throttle opening, looking for some sort of compensation or what have you. So I've already scanned the vehicle. There are no codes in it. But if I come over here to parameters, you'll see that down here at the bottom, you have this gauges cluster right there. So that's going to pull up one of their unique display pages. It kind of lays out the vehicle here. We've got fuel rail pressure, injection time, fuel tank pressure, desired fuel rail pressure, coolant temperature, throttle opening. So I'm going to cycle the throttle. So we go to 100%. And then we can see that the voltage here, this is really what I'm interested in. You'll see air mass, this is a speed density setup, so there's nothing there. So we'll start the vehicle up, let it idle, and I've already road tested it. This vehicle's here for an intermittent stalling complaint at idle. We've not been able to duplicate the complaint at all. So what I'm suspecting, the car has basically, we got 32,000 miles on it. I've never seen the vehicle before. Don't know what kind of maintenance it's had. Oil level was full when it came in here, so don't know when it was topped off or what have you, but it's not fresh oil. But I'm suspecting that maybe the throttle body may be dirty. Okay, so I want to collect some data before I do anything to this vehicle. Okay, so I can see that we're at 0.69. I've got no loads on. It is warm, 173 degrees. I'm going to go to drive. So we see our throttle pedal, or our throttle plate, 0.709. Back to park, 0.66. Okay, let's turn on the air. 0.718, 725. And I'm going to go ahead and put it into drive. Okay. All right, well, now that I've gathered those bits of data there, I'm going to go ahead and shut it off, do an inspection, visual inspection of the throttle plate. If it's dirty, I'm going to go ahead and clean it. All right, so now we're going to go back into the engine. We're going to reset the adaptations on the engine. Confirm. Okay, we're done. Press confirm. Here, let's just look at go back to our screen. You can see that throttle position for sensor 1 is now 0.57, so we were able to drop that down a bit. So we're going into drive. Now we're at 0.6.
Well, that's all for now. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thanks for watching.